basketball name? Why basketball?
Oh.
Because I guess you put it in the peach basket. I don't know.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You're shooting the ball in an old peach basket. Just cut out the bottom.
Yeah.
Stick it up there on a pole or a tree or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk basketball. We're going to talk women's basketball, in particular
Okay.
WNBA. And I just want to have an open salon barbershop conversation about this. Why isn't the support higher? And so I want to ask you all, can you all name 5? I'm only asking for 5. Don't use your computers. 5 WNBA All-Stars.
All-Stars?
Yep. Who are the best players in the league?
Oh,
Lisa
okay.
Leslie.
Psst, did you say Lisa Leslie?
Just name me 5.
Did you say Lisa Leslie?
Just going on who my favorite.
Lisa Leslie, like, I ain't played in 30 years. What are you talking about?
I thought she was talking
Hold on.
about
Hey,
in
no,
general.
no, no,
How you turn this? How you turn this?
She's
off?
talking about
How you turn this
Curry
microphone off? You got to turn this mic. You don't get to say nothing else for the rest of the segment.
I'll tell you I love.
Lisa Leslie,
I
same
thought she
age
was
as
talking
me.
about overall.
Okay.
We're
All right,
ranking.
here we go. Here we go. First of all,
Diana Taurasi.
Yeah.
Okay.
what about Skylar?
Diggins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Breanna Stewart.
Yep.
And is Sylvia, was she an all-star?
Candace.
Yeah, Candace
gotta
Parker.
name her,
yeah,
yeah.
Parker.
Sylvia.
Sylvia, who this is her last year, by the way. And Sue Bird's her last year, by the way.
And the young lady that was supposed to go to, I can't remember. Is it Alice? I can't remember her name now. I can't look it up. She won't look it up.
So that's about 5 right there. Did we name 5 there?
We got close.
Close.
Yeah, but
got
actually
sports shop
Diana
close.
Taurasi wasn't an all-star this year, but of course she is one of the greatest players.
Oh,
ever,
Don
so we'll
Stroman's
put
got to
her-
be this year?
Okay. Well,
Man.
I did ask that. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
get at
Yeah, I
is
missed
you all eat, sleep, and drink sports,
Yes.
and you got the bigger names. Just think about the average sports fan or the average basketball fan. I don't know if they could have named those 5.
I don't know if they know when they play.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Lisa Leslie. No, I'm not going to be mean. No,
Yes.
She thought I meant in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
in general.
Yeah. So what I'm speaking to is why isn't the support higher? Now I'm going to go into the good news, but I just want to talk this through. Everything from hyperfeminism, as in there are some folks, men, women, who believe that we've almost gone too far in the spectrum. The sense that America is not ready for a more masculine-looking athlete, and so the pendulum has shifted so far for some women playing the game that they're playing the game with makeup, their hair looking like they just came out of the beauty salon, tight uniform, showing more legs. Is it the style of play? As in when you compare it to men's basketball versus it's its own sport? Like, we don't compare women's tennis to men's tennis. But yet with basketball, if
Reese
we're
does.
not, yeah. Well, if we're not dunking, if we're not, flying through the air, is it the style of play? Or is it just overall sexism? As in, I don't want to watch girls play. I don't want to be beat by girls. And certainly I don't want to see them balling out on the court. And for some girls, they just don't want to look at women being assertive, aggressive on the court, and cursing and pushing. So let's just have that open conversation. What's going on?
Well, it's interesting you say that. My chapter, my fraternity, we went on a retreat, and this actually was one of the topics. And one of the older gentlemen said, "I just refuse to watch it. I just can't watch it.
Oh my goodness.
I refuse to." He was very animated, and this is a guy who played sports in college. He's like, I refuse to watch it. It's not entertainment. I just can't watch it. And he got challenged by a lot of people because,
if he's a true basketball guy, he couldn't say that.
That's what shocked me. He said, and he came out so animated about it, and I was like, well, fundamentally, I like watching them because of the fundamentals. College, when they go into the NBA, they have it's more open game. That's why I like watching it. But I would say this it's not appointment TV for me though. I'll watch it if I'm scanning through the channels and it pops up and it's somebody on there that's playing that I like to see. Right. I'll watch it then, but it's not like I gotta be at home. I gotta be in front of television at 8:30 because WNBA playoffs are on. I just me personally, I just don't do that.
Yeah. So I'll address one of the things you said. You talked about, trying not to look masculine, trying not to. I think the reason it's happening because I think women players are feeling more empowered to be to look and feel and be who they are.
Okay,
right? Because they look at themselves and they think they're beautiful, and they feel like they're pretty.
That's
right. And they feel like they like long hair and they do. I mean, so they feel like I can do this now. I don't have to try to come out here and wear a headband and and tie my hair up and not look like a woman playing basketball.
Right.
So they feel empowered to look. So I think that's one of the reasons that you're starting to see, or you see some of that. Now I don't understand the nail thing. That confuses me, but just
or the eyelashes, right?
Yeah, eyelashes.
And they're doing that in college.
That one kind of confuses me just a little bit. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work. How that's going to wear, but hey, give it a shot. You may figure out how to make it work. You see, but if you got a killer crossover, your eyelashes are just as long as as your fingers.
Why though? I mean, when they come off the court, they are who they're. So they want their hair to be right, and they want their lashes to be on.
Some of those lashes, I mean, come on.
But the same people wear it around.
As long as they can see.
But see, I would have a problem.
Here's a question:
so what's the difference?
Can they see?
When you got windshield wipers on as lashes, I got a problem with that.
It's a distraction. You don't think it's a distraction?
To who? To them or to the fan?
To the fans, to them, their teammates who are. It is definitely something that's being discussed by women athletes. It's over again hyperfeminism, but there is no doubt that there are some women who actually look, just as the young people would say, a hot mess with those flat eyelashes.
Yeah.
Yes,
just like in the rest of society,
right?
Women walk around looking for a hot mess.
I was gonna say I could be in a restaurant. I say the same thing. Versus seeing her on the court, I say the same thing.
I've seen some people that go, "Ooh, now you know better." Now who your people? Who your people? So with that point, Dr. Strowman, I mean, I get it. I don't think there's anything wrong with them trying to express themselves and be who they are and embrace being a female or a woman or a female athlete. I think that's a great thing. I think.
Well, how about the tats?
The tattoos?
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a big tattoo
fan. Women with tattoos all over their bodies.
See,
I'm not a big fan.
I'm not a fan of that at all.
Call me old school. Call me old. I'm not with that though.
No, me
either. And being on women, by the way, for me.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not. Yeah. That's a no for me.
And more and more women are doing that.
Yeah.
So
we've got the hyperfeminism in one way, and then the other side, if you are butch, whether you're gay or not, but if you're in touch more with your masculine side, and you're doing full body tats, wearing your uniform real baggy. What's your take on that? Is it the same level of agree or disagreement with the feminism side?
Okay, but so here's reality. So I always compare things to society, right? Mm-hmm. So someone living that same lifestyle in society, that's exactly how they look.
Right.
So what I don't like is they penalize the game of basketball or women's basketball by some of these, I don't even call them stereotypes because they're true, but just the way things are, right? Because, young girls, young women that age right now, they are walking around with eyelashes, look like windshield wipers, and they're walking around with hair down to whatever and makeup, and they're doing that. So are the young women that are playing basketball.
That's right.
Young women that live that lifestyle, they're walking around with fully tatted up and trying to wear, polos and this and that.
Baggy.
So, I mean, I get it, but that's not the game of basketball. That's just a reflection of just where things are. That's not a basketball issue.
That's interesting.
To me,
it doesn't determine whether you're a baller based on what you wear.
Yeah, but it may be a factor in whether or not you're attracted to the sport or not. Because you may be attracted to someone walk down the street, it turns in the positive way, saying that's cool or it's not cool.
So when Odell Beckham paints his hair blonde and red and all that, so luckily he wears a helmet. But if he didn't wear a helmet, right,
I
somebody could
that's
say,
crazy though.
But some people
But
could
that
say,
doesn't stop you from watching
But
them.
the problem
but what he's saying is it could stop if we got to where you see that. Football you can't really see that stuff, but if you got to where you see that,
players got crazy stuff too.
if you can see that, it may turn you off watching the game.
Yeah, right. Especially, I mean, even if you attend a game, some people have told me that's a little turn off because if they don't support their lifestyle,
and that is a
distraction.
distraction.
It's a distraction to them. But I mean, different strokes for different folks. But Dr. Strowman, you asked some really hard questions.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Well, on the men's side, we don't really look at it like that. When
we
we're
don't.
watching NBA
So how
ball, I
about
mean,
this?
there's some men that have a different lifestyle. That doesn't bother me. I just want to see somebody ball.
Yeah, but it's not as
So to that point, the athletes are assets, right?
Yes.
This is not a hobby. There are people who've
That's true.
invested in
It's
these
not a
franchises, and they want to sell tickets. They want to make money. Questionable as to whether or not they want to win, right? We have a history of owners. You can tell that they're not trying to win. They're just trying to make sure they make some money or have a tax write-off.
100% correct. That's
and
right.
so with that being said, if you're trying to brand your league and make money, and then you have athletes who are dressing or speaking or acting a particular way, you're going to put up rules and regulations. So, football, you can get away with it more because they have the helmet to protect. But you notice the brand ambassadors for the NBA, the NBA are clean-cut guys. LeBron James, Steph Curry, right? So now we look at the WNBA. There is conversation about how Sue Bird is getting all the love and all the hype, and yet Sylvia Fowles is not. They're both retiring great legacy Hall of Fame players, and people are saying, is it because she's an African American? Is it because she looks more masculine?
Yeah.
Is it because she is darker skin?
No.
These are the other things.
Yep.
Does it matter if you're all tatted up? Do you have the what you call them, windshield wiper?
Yeah.
Windshield wiper eyelashes.
Yeah. So what's
Came
your take
back.
on what the league should do? You're trying to make money.
Yeah.
So
You got to have folks that represent your brand.
Yeah.
So you guys ever heard the old adage, being front office material?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
That's what that is. All across everything you just said, that's what that means. Across all spectrums. It's whatever you want to put in the front window,
Right. Yeah.
right? To represent your brand, business, what have you, is what they're looking for and what they need. And that usually is something that is attractive to most,
Yes.
right? And not offensive to many.
Right. I just find it interesting that some of the former WNBA players, some currently, that the ESPN would put on on the show. Sylvia, Brittany Griner, if she was available, she would never be on a show like that.
No.
They're gonna have
You're right.
a certain type
That's right.
of person,
That certain
looking person do that. Montgomery, the young lady who retired and on the team,
Renee Montgomery,
who's-
Atlanta Dream.
who's gorgeous. But they had her on there, and then she had all the other stuff to go with it. But that's one of the reasons they had her on there. So it's interesting. Kate May said you have to have a certain look. If you're going to be the brand, if you're going to be the person that's going to be leading the charge regarding the WNBA, they do that on purpose. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
about the Brittany Griner situation,
Yeah.
someone brought it to my attention. They said, "Do you realize that if Brittany Griner was one of the, as you say, hyper feminine looking women,
It'd be different.
we wouldn't even be
It'd be
having this
different.
conversation.
It'd be different.
She would already been
It'd be
because
different.
you
Yeah,
just
I
can't.
agree.
The optics of keeping
Yep.
a woman, a very feminine, hyper woman
Yep.
prisoner like that. Wouldn't it doesn't matter what society, it doesn't fly.
100% agree.
And I
with
was
you
like,
on that one.
huh.
No, that's true.
And if they did get away with it, they wouldn't let it be on television as much as it is.
Right.
Because they don't want to have the optics of that would not pass the smell test in any society.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, she got tats.
Yeah, she just
All
doesn't.
over.
She doesn't fit the
Right.
I've
Braids,
never.
locks.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
everything we just talked about. And to K-Man's point, though,
Her
if
mannerisms.
if it's completely the opposite, who knows what kind of conversation we'll be having about a WNBA player held prisoner over in Russia.
Right.
It may be a different type of conversation
All
that
day.
we're having. Yeah.
Which is sad.
Well, I do want to make note that the WNBA got into a little stink with its fans a number of years ago because they basically did not do any type of marketing or recognizing the gay community that was a big part of their audience. And finally, somebody woke up in the front office and realized, gay people spend money and attend games, and they're a big part. So then they started shifting and doing more things to celebrate that community. But it's amazing that, when you look at the makeup of your assets, your property,
Sure.
the number of women who are gay, and yet you don't want to acknowledge the fans in the stands and make money off of that. But I do want to close on a good note. So this past season, it was the league's most watched regular season on ESPN in 16 years.
Wow.
And they also had better ratings than MLS. And we know ESPN is really expanding MLS, Major League Soccer. They weren't too far off on their averages when the NHL first started in their year of a contract with ESPN and Turner Sports. So people are watching. I think it's easier if they make it easier for us to find them, right? I still think marketing needs to be better in terms of when the schedule is. Maybe learn something from the NBA. When their schedule is announced, everybody and their mother knows about it, right? WNBA, it's still like when do they play or when are they on? So I believe more effort needs to be there.
I
but
agree.
yeah, I'm glad you all support women's basketball, pro basketball.
Yeah.
But this is a great, great conversation.
As a Hall of Famer, Dr. Stroman, I know I don't want you to get mad at me, but the reason I believe it is probably have better ratings because the game itself looks a lot better than it has in the past. Right? Not saying that they have been great ballers.
Would you agree with that, Dr. Stroman? Because he better agree with that.
I'm just telling you, it looked pretty special out there right now. Collectively.
I mean, just like the men, they're just so much more athletic. They're stronger, they're faster, they're better trained. Although I would put, the top players that I played with way back when, I think could definitely, just like, Magic and them feel that they could ball with today's players.
I knew she was going for that. I knew she was going for that.
But in my defense, Dr. Stroman, I'm saying it wasn't as many of you guys then than it is now playing the game. That's why it looks different.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
To that point, they stand on our shoulders, right?
Yep, exactly right.
But one thing you can't measure, and this is what I believe, and I think you all would agree with, when we played growing up, we didn't have air-conditioned gym. We didn't have 5 pairs of shoes.
No.
We played all year round, inside, outside, snowing, raining. We didn't have all these different people working on different parts of our body, a nutritionist, all of that.
Bring
it. Some type of grit. We have grit. I mean, look at some of these athletes. Like, I don't want to play.
This is your fault.
It's too hot in the gym. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry,
See, K-Back, this is your fault right here, man.
Get him, Dr.
You open this can
Stroman.
of words.
I got to get Deborah. Look.
You gotta get real.
I gotta shake her up. She
went in on you. Let me tell you this.
Exactly.
So listen.
But it's tougher.
See,
She said we just
see, you see what I'm saying? You won't leave it well enough alone.
This is what happened.
We had a great conversation. Get ready to finish up. There, you gonna go there.
I was just saying that the game.
No, you weren't.
turn his mic off.
Whenever somebody said, "Don't get mad," you know you gonna say some crazy stuff, Dr. Strong. So I can see his comment.
But you know that he loves you because usually he won't say "don't get mad." He just say what he thinks.
No, we respect this lady here. This is the girl.
But she's a Hall of Famer though. You see what I'm saying?
All right, D.
So I get it. All right, Dr. Stroman, I appreciate it.